Cambodia TV. This topic is about the demonic possession. So, demonic possession is both things. It's a real thing and it's one big bullshit. So, how come it can be paradox? Well, let me explain, or let me present you my theory. So my theory is based that every human ego is essentially matrix shaped, with its lack of memory, then whole programming, then different entities being placed into the biofield already in the womb, Dr. Corrado Mawanga, and that everybody has, who didn't clean his aura and who's not going through the process, has of course entities in the biofield and lots of traumas if that was not healed before. So that is actually making every person controllable, because it's making every soul to believe that ego matrix is the identity. I'm not saying that I'm enlightened. I'm simply saying that I'm enlightened to the degree that I can manage to see that, and I can see that repeatedly. So now the topic of demonic possession, and please watch the link I'm going to give you. It's a very good link, because it's a real thing. So what is happening with the demonic possession? In that case, a reptile or any other demon is essentially controlling the biofield. He is then controlling the biofield, and what is he doing? He's doing stupid stuff. He's like shaking, he's like talking on different languages. He's essentially terrorizing the person. What's the outcome? Well, depending on religion or view, that person is going to be then handed over to the priest. That can be, in the classical case, are Catholic exorcists, or in case in Bosnia, they send the people to mullahs, to the hojas, Muslim priests who are experienced in that, and they've been cleaning them. I know stories from all sides. So what's happening is that people send those sick people, possessed people, and my grandma witnessed a real exorcism. She explained that in a very grave details. So what happens is that religion wins. Priest helps. The priest casts away demon, as my grandma saw it when she was a small child. And then religious programming is being reinforced. Everybody believes, yeah, okay, our programming is good. We just see, and people have seen, of course, also cases of levitation, people levitating, people, small girls talking on Latin and other languages, and so on. And a little bit surreal, me walking in my underwear and talking about demonic possession. So, but that's the way life is, and I hope sound is working. And so that's my theory. And the second point of the theory is that while people are, your standards are being lowered, okay? Because you believe that spiritual possession is that, what you see in the movie Exorcist, or what you see on YouTube clips where they're really casting out those demons, or when real show is going on for you, for real, then you cannot actually notice that, now this is highly politically incorrect to say, but all minds, in a sense it's very Buddhist, all minds are possessed. And because we are all more or less equally, quote unquote, crazy, we don't even notice our insanity. But if you really, critically observe the world, you will notice quite a bit of the insanity going on. And that insanity is coming from our minds. Okay? So, demonic possession is real. I'm sure it can happen. And I'm sure that, I'm sure that if you do your mental hygiene in the morning, if you meditate and if you're putting some shield over your body, if you have intention of protection, and if you have knowledge of this, then of course it's going to be far more difficult for them to further penetrate into your aura. But if you're ignorant, on top of that, if you're organic portal, and organic portals are not that interesting for them, because then they have to waste their own energy, because they prefer to use the soul energy as a vector for everything, as an eternal battery. But if you're organic portal, then I really need editing software. So I was talking about that. I was talking about mind software. I was talking about the control. I was talking about basic control. Morning meditation is fine. Okay, so that's already something. In the worst case scenario, a person is using crystal meth, amphetamines, and you understand now why such a big emphasis on parties, on crystal meth, on tattoos, on tattooing demonic images, party images, and so on. I know this generation. I know where they went. First ecstasy, then after that heroin. So if you're into that, see, as long as you have their influence in your aura, for them it's always going to be very easy for them to open the cracks in your biofield and to control your biofield. If you progress even further into the consumption of the drugs like crystal meth, or they call it amphetamines, or they have like speed and so on, yaba and ice and so on, that will then speed up the process of demonic entrance into your aura. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about a full demonic possession, which I witnessed so many times in Phnom Penh when I saw people half naked, waving, chasing against demons and so on. And this is basically the last stage. And that's it. So if you really want to protect yourself from that, be aware of one thing, that in a way, insanity is contagious. If when you are close to the person who is using crystal meth, who is alcoholic, who is heroin addict, you are automatically close to essentially a container full of rubbish. So you have all kinds of different bacteria and viruses. You understand it? So with him, you also have all kinds of different bacteria and viruses. It's always lurking to find something fresh to leech on. And this is a spiritual infection, and it's you see, now I'm like expanding the theory of possession through experience, but I'm now moving, movies of different alcoholics in my life. My father quit drinking a couple of years ago, actually, that's confirmed, or a year ago. So that's a great news. I really would like to see him now, because all his life he was a carrier of that. And these guys, when you're close to them, they like sucking your energy and so on. So these are also the elements of how to recognize the demonic possession. When you are close to the Illuminati, they're gonna suck your energy consciously, and they're gonna do it skillfully. But when you are close to somebody who is normally demonically possessed, or above the average, and acting from the point of view of standard social behavior, more or less standardized. But if you notice this sucking effect, like you've been like a drain from that person, then we are talking exactly about that. Okay, so this is something you have to take care of. You also call it as emotional vampirism. This is very indicative. And another thing about the demonic possession, something that also people take for granted, and I think I'm going to finish with this. Those controlling cold types, which tend to radiate lots of energy and lots of heaviness around them. They make you feel respect. These guys, whatever you do, wherever you are, take my advice. Just go away from them. You got it. Just go away from that type. Just walk away. And your life gonna be much better.